Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to the episode of Let's Build a Medieval City. Our city is a port city, which means it lives by a ocean. And it trades with boats. And we don't have any boats yet. So I think it's time that we start building our first ship docked to the port here. I'd really like some multiple ships, really. Like in an ideal world, I'd like to have one ship here, which we'll start building today. And then I'd like to have like two or three, look at that little tiny island, like two or three sort of ready to come in, sort of hovering nearby. Maybe like a mix of trade ships and warships. I don't know. The problem is, with ships, is I'm not very good at building them. I'm not the strongest ship builder in Minecraft, as you can see. Just look at that one. That's meant to look like an incomplete boat, but boy, does it look like an incomplete boat. So, well, I mean, we done well there. Let's give it a go, though, right? I'm going to go with dark oak here, so it contrasts well with the darkish colour of the dock. If I go lighter, I think it'd look... Well, maybe we do go lighter. Maybe we do go with oak. Trouble is, Minecraft boats are always made out of oak, aren't they? Always. But I suppose they would be. Now, I think we've got definitely the width here. Obviously, the boat's going to be a lot longer than that. The boat's going to be quite large, I think. We'll sort of really be able to tell once we get these first few blocks in. Now, I think if we said that that's the front of the boat, okay, if that's the dead front, and let's say for the moment that that's the dead middle as well. How would we do this? Now, I think I'm going to have to do something that might look weird, but will probably just help me further down the line with building these boats. So, I'm just going to like place down some blocks here, and I have no strategy before you guys like try and copy what I'm doing here. Just know I have no idea exactly what I'm doing yet. I've just made something that is basically symmetrical and basically bow of a ship shape. I do think that this might be a little bit too pointed. I think more modern ships might have been sort of that pointed. But maybe these ships weren't. It's not feeling right to me yet. And I think that's basically what the secret is to Minecraft boat building is if it looks right, it probably is. And that's all you can sort of go with. So I'm really widening this out. We might have made it too wide. I don't know yet. Like this. And like that. Okay, I like that. I like that, but we're gonna have a problem, right? I like that being the front of the boat, but then these kind of ships always have, I don't know what it's called. You guys are gonna have to help me with this. But these kind of ships always have like this thing coming off the front, and obviously we're too close, so we'll have to move the ship back. But I think that is about right, and I might just bring this out by here. Once I get a shape I like, and if I'm sure that I like it, I'll then go through with you guys what the sort of numbers are, but for the moment there's no point. Alright, I think I like that, right? Now, this part of the ship is pretty sort of straight for a little bit. Now, I used to have a toy ship when I was younger, and it was sort of a piratey like shape, and it sort of it was really weird, and it looked weird in Minecraft, but it sort of bows in a little bit in the middle. I think we could do something like that. It's just a very gentle bow. Like it might only be one block. I think 2 blocks might end up be looking too much. Oops, we're not symmetrical. Good thing I noticed that. There you go. It's easier to tell with the water, because the water have these sort of lines on the texture. You can tell a lot easier if things are in line or not. Like, would I go in another one? Man, I do think it looks cool. It's just a really cool sort of way to do a ship. Ah, it's our ship. We can do what we like. Why not? There's nothing wrong with being different from other people's ships. And I don't think I want to go any wider on the back than it is at the front. I think that would be weird. But I think we want to sort of now start, not slowly, quite quickly turning it in. So I'm thinking something like this. Yep. And then a 2, and then a 1. Ugh. I think that's a little bit too rounded. It needs to be sharper. Something like that. Okay, I think that works. I think that's a pretty good shape for us to get started with. Now, the other thing with ships is they don't look, or they're not the same level all the way across like a house is. They sort of start off tall. Well, I would say they start off at like medium at the front, and then they slowly get lower, and then they ramp up and they end up higher at the back. So before we start doing that, let's just make it easy for you guys who want to do this at home and for some reason like my boat. I don't know why you would, but if you do, we've got 3 on the front, and then you have a 1, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then a 3 going back in again, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 3 back out, then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, back out once more, 1, 2, and then you've got a straight back. If you guys want to follow along, you should be able to pause the video where you need to if you missed what I said, and be able to build your own one. Okay, you know what, before we start lowering these sides down, let's get the, is it called the bow? I don't know. The part of the boat that's going to end up being underwater. So we'll do something like this. Now I don't know the mathematical displacement that would be needed underwater to be able to make this boat stay upright. So we're just going to go down to here. I've got rocks in the way. I can't see nothing. You guys don't need to see anything, right? I'm drawing a straight line. I'm pretty sure you guys could work that out. I always want to go, I like starting going in before the water, just so you can see that it sort of starts to bow a little bit. Even though probably in real life a boat would start like going well into the water, not above it. It'd probably make it very unstable, but I don't care. Oh, I'm lower. That looks terrible. That's better. That's good bow. Okay. So we've got a little start to a skeleton here. Let's now work out where we want... Oh, because we're going to have to move this soon, aren't we? Shall we move it now? Oh, don't use a sponge. Oh, I think I could use a sponge. I don't think that the sponge is programmed in 1.7 to, like, remove water, are they? I'd rather not risk it, though. I shouldn't have put the bottom in. I should have moved it before then. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, I can move it slightly by hand if need be. Okay, so what we need to do is we're moving it back so we can fit like a front on it, like a hanging over part. What would be the best way? If I stand on this block, cut, and then we just move out as many blocks as we need. I don't think we need to go many. I mean, I'm thinking maybe that. With a bit of a front on there. Maybe that's too far. Lucky I've got that block so I can still tell if we're in the middle or not. Let's go here. I can extend that dock. I think that's a good distance. I think we're going to go with that. And then this will have to then go underwater. So I could just copy it. 1, 1, 2, 2. Aha. Ah, itchy eyeball. I'm good. And then under here, oh, this was that one. I think something like that. I'm not even going to try and copy it now. There. There. Really like that. I think I might like that better than what it was. Okay, so we want to have this part at what we're going to call middle height. And where is low height going to be? Low height is going to be like 1 or 2 blocks down here. In fact, I'm going to put low height here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I was looking at the dock behind, and we're going to want to be able to get onto the boat from low height. So with a little bit of a ramp, we should be able to get up onto there. Which means medium height doesn't need to be much taller than what this is here. We can have medium height at about that, which is 1, 2, 3 blocks taller. Is that enough? Is that enough? Probably enough, yeah. Which means then tall height will be, that's the same as medium there. That would probably be enough. I think that would be about enough. So what we can do now is we can now copy this shape that we've got, the boat outline shape, but on the right level now. So like low is here, and then we want to try and get up high. In fact, I think a good way to do this would be that, because otherwise I'm going to be placing planks on planks, and I'm not going to know which ones are the new ones and which ones are the old ones, are they? So if I do replace plank with 35.6, that makes our outline then pink, and now we can place down where we want the actual boat to be in these ones. So it's got to be there. We'll keep it sort of that height there, and then it starts coming down now. So we have that one, and I'm keeping exactly on this pink line. Okay. So something like that. So now we've just drew the line going up and down. I think I'm a little bit too low for too long. Okay, I like that. I like that. Maybe one there. Okay, we're going with that. Take that one away. So then if we come around the back here. Now let's start at the top, because that seemed to work pretty well. So this back here will stay at this level here, and we'll still stay nice and high up here. And then we'll start dropping down here. So we have into that one. And then I'm going to guess and go down here. Like this. Was that right? No, that should be there. So we back off, we have a look at it. I think it stays at medium height for too long. I think it needs to be, I think it needs to fall quicker. I think it needs to come like this. That's good there. And then it's like a 2, 2, 2 now. You know, I think that will work. Once we get all the blocks on. Oh, I should really do that. I think we could make that work. So let's now copy this on the other side. So that's a 3, and then a 2, and then a 1, and then a 3, and then we go down. I'll just draw along because I can see. There we go. And then a down and in. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, down to the lowest level. We could definitely make a ramp from a dock to get onto this. 3 up there. Replace those ones. Oops. Replace those ones. And there. Okay, excellent. So now we can now take away the pink. We don't need that anymore. I hope. Perfect. And it should give us a pretty good boat start now. Now, boats are a slow process to build. They're not something that you can build in like 2 episodes. So we'll have to sort of keep coming back to this, I think. But I really like that. I think that's cool. Now, there's different ways that you can fill in this next. The like hull of the ship. I know that word. The hull of the ship is actually really quite tricky to do sometimes. And although I'm not the best ship builder, I do know of some tactics that can help. And the first tactic is by building what I'm going to call, for the sake of this episode, ribs. We build these boat ribs. And the more you build, the easier it becomes. The easier the rest of it will be. So I've got a rib right in the middle, and we've got a rib that goes, or like a spine, we'll call it. A spine that goes down the length of the ship. And then these ribs, we've got one at the lowest point here. Let's have a rib at the middle of the thinnest point, so where it goes in. So let's say something like that. Now, I'm not saying that these ribs are exactly where we need them to be, but they just give us a really perfect approximation. Okay, and we'll have one in the middle here. One there. So all I'm doing is sort of taking tactics from things that I normally build, like houses and skyscrapers and stuff like that, and I'm just trying to sort of convert them into a way that would work for this kind of build. Let me know in the comments section if it's working so far. Like, place your estimates. Will this boat look okay by the end? Will it look somewhat like a boat by the time I'm finished with it? We'll see who's right. I think it will. I think it'll look fine. I think we'll be good. Okay. The hardest part, I think, is having it all symmetrical. I think that's so hard to do with a boat in Minecraft. Okay, so there's some ribs going down it. Now what you can do here is start to join the ribs together with what we'll call flesh. Now, I think you might also want to start, I don't know, I think you might though also want to start thinking about what colours and what design you want to go with at this point. Because what we could do is change the rib blocks into logs, and then have behind here at this level, it'll make the build harder, but I think will look cooler. We have planks sort of behind it, so the ribs are like an exoskeleton of the boat. Now, to keep it different from the dock, we'll have to use a different log. Is a spruce log different enough to stand out? Yeah, definitely. So we could do something like, let's work on one rib together. That'll give us a good idea on if we're doing it okay-ish. Now, I don't know if I want to have all of the logs for these ribs pointing downwards, or if I want them to be in more of a curve. So the ones that are sort of this end go here. I think I would like that design better if we were to keep it. Sorry when you got these 2 or more blocks to do. Like that. So let's do these 2 and then we'll join up the middle. That one. Fortunately, this boat isn't like a colossally huge boat, because you can go crazy with some ships. I've seen like some people build ships in Minecraft that are absolutely enormous. All you need to do is do a Google search, and I'm sure you'll find a bunch of them. Okay, so there's the 2 ribs there, and then if we got, because we'll probably end up doing some kind of either stair or special block where this oak is at the moment. Let's use oak here, down here for the moment at least. So I think the best way is to work in small portions, and you want to keep them behind the logs, following the contour of the ship above, or of the what do you call it? Like the top of the ship there. Make sure you keep behind the logs. Now I'm only going to go sort of 2 blocks at a time, because it'll be easier then to tweak it. And at these points here, you always want to try and keep a, what would you call it? What would you call this shape? Like a smooth right angle, should we say, like a curved right angle. So you want something like that there. And see how I'm trying to sort of keep that smooth, and then this one smooth. So we'll probably want to have something like that. If I zoom out, you can sort of see it through the water here. This one is now a smooth curve up here. Yeah. And if we go down to the next level. Oh, that was easy. I think, let's say 2 blocks at a time is probably good. And I would also recommend only doing sort of 1 rib at a time and then mirroring it on the other side, because at least then you've got a little bit of muscle memory. Okay, this is going to be really easy here because these ribs are just nice and straight. Okay, so this looks a little bit weird having it straight here. I'm going to take that one away and I'm going to put it back there. And then that way it also stays behind that log which we wanted. You know what? I think that would look really good all the way. Definitely change the top oak now to something else. I don't know what block yet. I'm thinking maybe cobblestone stairs or something like that. So I'm just copying the outside here. It's quite easy to copy the outside because you can see the shapes. You see? So you can just literally just copy straight along. I'm hoping anyway. That one. Says you won't be able to tell until you go to the outside. Uh-oh. It might still be fine. That one. And this one. Maybe I should copy and paste every panel, or I could just build the entire... I guess what I used to do when I built ships on the past in the channel is I just built one half and then I copied, mirrored it and pasted it. And I think that usually worked. good. That's why you want to do like the minimum blocks. I don't think that one's there either, is it? I'm sure there's something not quite right here. Oh no, there was like that. And like that, I think, right? Yeah. 3 out and then 3 in. 3 out and then 3 in, yeah. And then another 3. Or 2. 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. 3 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Yeah, we're definitely symmetrical now. Awesome. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this episode though. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but this is the hardest part over now. It'll run really quickly from here, now that we know exactly where these sort of blocks are going to go and what sort of curvature that we want to do. Oh yeah, talk about this curvature, right, very quickly. When you're on the front half of the ship, you want the curves going towards the sort of tip of the front. So it sort of goes from the base and it's sort of curving towards that. You see what I mean? So in this one it'll also curve up. But as soon as you get past the middle point, you'll want to start curving it up to the back. So then the curves will go in the opposite way. So by the end of it, you'll end up with a sort of semicircle. So it'll go sort of down and then up. Like, but it'll be so subtle that you won't really notice it, but it'll just help the shape of the ship. Alright guys, if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't, feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!